All good, Satya.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining the session today. We are on 61st session of D365 UZ India. So I didn't realize we are on 61 session already. It's like um, we are doing this session more than 2 years now, Rajit, right?
Yep.
So
More than
except a
two
few
years.
breaks in which we have been very, very regular in doing these sessions. So yeah, so today, 25th June, we have our speaker with us today, Deepak Gupta, who has joined us from Bangalore. And the topic is really exciting, very, very close to my heart. And actually, it's a really hot
Please share
topic
your
in
screen, Satya.
the world everywhere. Sorry, I need to share the screen. Yes. I can see
Yeah.
Deepak Gupta's face turned red from the red screen I shared, so I don't need to ask if I'm sharing screen or not. Okay. So as I said, session is really good, really hot topic. Everybody's asking about how to optimize the D365 licenses. So I'm eagerly waiting for like details of this session. So before I hand over to Deepak, I just like to talk about our group, who all are in this group, and when did we start the session, and good information for you guys as well if you want to go back to our past sessions, what you had done in last 2 years. So good opportunity. You can join our YouTube channel. Uh, we are also on LinkedIn and Twitter, now X. But I think YouTube will be the best channel where you can find all our informative videos. We have 4 volunteers in this group. Rachit, who is our founding member, Umesh, myself, and Deepak Agarwal. As I said, all the sessions are on YouTube. You can join us, and um, we have been inviting MVPs and the people from Microsoft. So their sessions are really exciting if you go there and check. Okay, now I'll hand over to Deepak. Um, Deepak, I'll not steal any thunder from you, so I'll handing out to you all the topics, all the things you want to share today. Please take the screen.
Thank you, Satya. Yes, just give me a minute. I'll share my screen. Yeah, starting with nice sunset view.
Uh, Now we have more than
Uh,
15 now, Rajit.
Yep. Reach the threshold.
yeah, good. Thank you, first of all, to the Dynamics UG group for providing me the opportunity to present today. Yeah. Just starting by a little introduction to me. So I am Deepak Gupta. I'm co-founder of a company named Pulse Risk Solutions. It's a Bangalore-based organization, pretty young, 1 year old, and uh, we have 2 products under it. We are mainly in the product development round, and personally, I have around 2 decades of experience in the industry. So working with uh, Dynamics when it used to called AX 3.0 versions and onwards from there. And I'd like to start with the problem statement related to the licensing. So maybe a lot of you are already aware of the warning which Microsoft gave last year that they are going to enforce the licenses more strictly. First, they gave a date of September, then they moved it to the this year 15th of January. That is when the license enforcement have started. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, that how actually it impacts the organization. Uh, but based upon my experience working with different customers and also working in capacity of partners or as a Microsoft vendor, I have seen this journey very closely. So what happens in most of the organization is that they think about the license counting or do estimation on that how many licenses are really required at at the time when they are planning to implement it, or during implementation, maybe a little bit after that. That is the time when they think that how many roles are there and then what licenses are required for those. Do a estimation, buy those licenses, goes live, assign the licenses, and then generally they just kind of forget about it. Uh, Not to blame anyone, because they have their own business to run and their operations, which is key to them, and not daily looking at the ERP licenses. But then what happens is over a period of time, there are different uh, people really joins in the organization, people leave organization, people changes role within the organizations, people come and ask the IT admin, hey, can you please give me access to this form as well? And they get it. Because of all of that, what happens overall is this statement over here: the usage of license by each user does not get exactly equal to the whatever licenses are assigned to them. It ends up into many users who are over licensed, or somebody who might be just filling up the timesheet. If they get the license of full finance, some users are under licensed. There might be a lot of inactive users who have either moved to other department who do not use Dynamics, or they completely left the organization, but they still have their licenses assigned to them. So there are like different sort of buckets of users which comes in an organization, and only a small fraction which is the right size. And when I say right size, that means that whatever really is the user need the access for, or whatever forms or reports or things like that they are using, think they have the license only for those. That is the really definition for right sized, where you spend the money on really the items which your users are using. Uh, Now, just a little bit in a slide or two, I want to talk about that how the licensing rules are and what sort of complexities they have. So, apart from the role-based security, I'm not going into that. That is a topic in itself. But each role overall assigned to some license, one license or multiple licenses inside Dynamics. But uh, apart from that, any organization need to adhere to these rules on the licenses as well. First one is the minimum seat. So if somebody is really using finance, they need to have minimum 20 finance licenses. Same is goes with SCM or commerce. So that is a minimum seat rule. So I cannot really take a Microsoft Dynamics finance saying that I only want the five users into it. Then there is the attached license rule, where if a user is using multiple modules, say finance and supply chain, then they can pay for one license as full, and the other license can be taken as attached. And there is a quite a significant difference in the pricing. If the list prices we look at, the main license finance supply chain are around $210 per user per month, and the attached license is only $30. So you can significant savings can be done if this rule is implemented properly. Then third one is the operation activity and the team member licenses. If the users are only using a specific part of the system, like I gave in the example, you are only filling up the timesheet, you can only use the team member license, or you may need the operation activity license if you are doing a little bit more, but you are not using the full ERP system functionalities. So that can also save license costs for the organizations. And then last one is related to the device licenses. if the individual user doesn't matter, if the named user does not matter for an operation, something like if somebody is working on the point on sale devices is in the retail stores, or the warehouse worker are working on the warehouse devices, maybe picking, packing things from the locations in the warehouses, and they work in the shift. So organization need not to buy the licenses for those individual users, but they can buy licenses for the devices. So that can also save some license cost over there. So these are different rules. So it creates a lot of permutation combinations to really arrive to the actual optimized licensing. Uh, and then what I was telling is that how exactly now it is working, the enforcement part is that now we are in already 2026, and from 15 January Microsoft has started this enforcement. So whenever any organization's license renewal anniversary will happen, from that date this enforcement will begin. So for example, if my organization's license renewal is due on say 1st of July, so that is the day from where the license enforcement will begin for me. And license enforcement really means that if any of my user is not compliant with the licenses, then they will start seeing a screen saying that you do not have access to the system. Please contact your system administrator. And that creates the risk. That's what this slide is talking about. Risk of doing nothing. I think that is not really an option for the organizations anymore. It was different story altogether previously, because previously it was only the when Microsoft organized the license audit on any organization, then they had the risk. But now their biggest risk is the business continuity, because if one fine morning saying your say accountant cannot really log in into Dynamics, then they cannot put the invoices in, they cannot do the payments, the business cannot run. So that is kind of my perspective, biggest risk. Apart from that, there is this audit risk from Microsoft always there. Microsoft may conduct an audit, and if any organization find non-compliant, then those costs must be much more than what the license cost. Another one, which is generally ignored, is the reputational risk. When the organization works, they build a repo in the market, and they take years to build, and nobody want to risk it just for the sake of just not being on the right side of the license compliance. So doing nothing for this is, as I said, not an option for the organizations. Uh, they have to work towards being compliant, and that can be done in multiple ways. Yeah, these rules are for the licensing rule are available general in the public documentation from Microsoft. So any organization can go to those rules, start looking in that what the rules are there, and what sort of licenses they have assigned. There, Microsoft has done pretty good progress on that front as well, because now there is licensing reports available on the PPAC, Power Platform Admin Center, where people can go and see that how many licenses they right now have, what is assigned, which users are in the non-compliant zone, and then really take care of those things. But what I feel in general is that this has become a complex task. Uh, One reason of that is the licensing rule are complex, and the second reason of that is uh, really those going into the role-based architecture and getting to know that which user is actually using what particular form, reports, etc., is a challenge in itself. So even for the seasoned consultant, it became really a challenge to get any organization to actually right size on the licensing terms. And that is where I want to introduce this product from my organization, which is specifically built for D365FO licenses. This is already vetted by Microsoft. It's available on Microsoft Marketplace as well. But how it helps is it actually monitors the user behavior, where really what forms, reports, or data entities, or whichever menu item the users are really going, and then it maps those to the correct license type based upon what activity patterns are there, and then it produces a report which highlights that where are the saving opportunity are there, and also or ensures the compliances and provide a continuous optimization one. So key highlights over here is this first benefit is really the cost saving, and so it gives you the idea that what real licenses you require. So you can get rid of all the extra licenses, which help you save a good amount of money per month. And second one, also in a term of in money, it is the compliance. You remain always compliant with as soon as any of your user goes away from the compliant, you get an alert saying that this and this user is non-compliant, so you please assign him a license or uh, change its role to make sure that they become compliant again. Uh, Third one is the visibility. This is mainly from the management or the auditor's perspective. It provides a report which then can management can take up. So till now, what I have seen is most of the organization do the guesswork or they do the estimation that how many licenses really they need, but they never had a data sheet on which they can say that yes, now this is the access pattern of our users, and that is why we need this much licenses. So that visibility is provided to the management as well as it can be used for the auditors to show that this is the reason why we have this many licenses. And this is a SaaS product uh, hosted in Azure outside of Dynamics. It provides a continuous optimization. So it's not really a one day that it provides a report. It keeps monitoring the dynamic system, keep monitoring the licensing and the user activities, is and giving out the alerts and reports on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, however the user choose to configure it. And now I just want to show you that how exactly the product looks like and what are the key features of this product. So in this product, it provides a report, and there are three levels of report. The first one is the summary report, which is mainly for the executives and auditors. So it gives a direct detail that how many days of data this report is based upon, what version of Dynamics it's being run, when it is being run, and direct dollar value. You that what are the benefits, so where the optimization can be done and how much money can be saved. And then in the compliance part, for doing the optimization, sometimes you have to convert the licenses into the other types. So something like commerce can be converted to commerce attach. So some new licenses need to be procured, which is not right now available with the organization. So it says that how much money need to be spent as well. And these are monthly cost. So you can directly see that what are the positive and negative, and this gives you an idea that how much money you can save monthly. And then it gives detail about that each license type, how many users are using it right now total. And this use total is based upon not the roles, but it is based upon the telemetry data that how many users have actually used this. And these assigned total is coming from the graph APIs is for that organization, the MS Admin Center. So for example, this demo organization here, they have 149 commerce licenses assigned right now, but they are using only 36. So they have optimization possible for 130 licenses let go, which can save some 23,000 plus dollars monthly saving. On the other hand, they need to buy, say, 33 finance attached licenses, which they are using, but right now they have none. So they need to buy this, which will cost them like 990. So this gives quite a summary for the executives without going into the role-based licensing access, licensing rules, and all of that. It cuts through all that complexity and gives the executive the numbers which they understand that where exactly they stand. So it's gives them a quite a good idea that what where are the problem areas and how much money really they can save on this. Then there is second level of detail, which is a detailed view, which is have the actionable insight for the IT admin. Now this report gives per user the breakdown that for every user, what are the license or licenses which are required, and then what are the license which are assigned to them. And then it gives a uh, like a Boolean field saying that whether change is required or not. So wherever the change is required is yes, that is the action items for the IT admin. They need to go to the particular user and they either have to change their role or they have to change their license or maybe they have to do both. So this mm, tell the detail about that. And then there is third level of detail, which is specific users logs. Also, it provides. So say that this particular user in the given time frame, like 30 days or 90 days of data, which we are monitoring here, then what exactly elements they have gone to, like which menu item they have gone to, how many number of time they have gone to, and then what license or licenses can fulfill that those particular menu items. So it gives a clear-cut idea if somebody want to really create a new role, then they know that for this user, if I want to create a new role, then what I need to do. I need to put this menu items into that, and that will be kind of a bare minimum because this is what this person is accessing. Also, if somebody want to analyze on top of this data, they also will get a good idea that what really their users in their organizations are using. So that is about the report. I think there are some questions coming up, but I will take them at the end. I just have few more slides which I want to talk about. Next one is that how exactly this product work or how it configures. So the first step is uh, to get the data. So there is a secure API integration with D365 tenant, no disruption to live. So what we do is we collect the telemetry data, and telemetry is already a standard functionality of Dynamics. So we are not doing anything new. We do have a small code package, but it's not like a normal ISP package which has huge code into it. We are that is only extending the telemetry. So we are capturing all the say menu item accesses in the system, and that goes to telemetry to the uh, Azure Log Analytic workspace. We connect to that Azure Log Analytic workspace and fetch the data. So only four fields is something which we fetch, which is the user ID, the timestamp, the menu item, and the menu item type. These are the four elements which we want to fetch. And to take care of the GDPR, we also do not take the user IDs. If any organization asks us to, we only take their GUIDs. So if really required, then we do not have any idea about that which user we are asking. So it's fully compliant with those rules. So that is the data which we take from the Azure Log Analytics into our side, and then we start collecting data. Once we have enough data available with us, maybe like a good month end activity is available or a full month is data is available, then the system has the AI driven rules which start analyzing and generate the recommendations and provide it into the dashboard, these report. And so these sort of reports, what I just showed you, this comes out of, and this comes on a portal. So you have the option that you can see that how often you want to update it, maybe daily, maybe quarterly. however you want to. So that is how this whole product works. Setup is pretty simple. Well, so there is a small, uh, say, ISP package which goes in. It's a very small ISP package. Does not affect on any productivity or interfere with any other item. It just extend the telemetry, and then rest of the setup is all in Azure. This runs in Azure, so no performance impact back on the Dynamics. Uh, And then, yes, I put this slide mainly because I got this question asked from lot many people, lot of my clients ask this that when Microsoft is already providing the report, then why really we need to go for something like this? And the answer is that right now Microsoft provide the report, which is based upon the roles of the user. So if you say assign accountant to a user, then it will say that that person needs a finance license, full finance license. But it does not check that whether that user is actually doing any posting on the accounting or checking the accounting rules, anything like that. If that user is, say, only checking exchange rates, maybe he don't need the full finance license. So that is really the difference. And this is example I have taken from a live client. That's why you see there's a lot of detail hidden here. So there's a user. So these two reports both are taken from the Dynamics only. I think this is now moved to PPAC. So there is a dormant security account report which says that which users have not logged into the Dynamics. They say there's one user who is not logged into Dynamics for last 200 days, most likely moved to some other department or even left the organization. But the license summary report from Microsoft says that you need finance license, project operation license, supply chain license, which is a huge cost per month for that for a user who is not even logging in into the system for like 200 days. So that is really the difference because we also track that which user is actually using the system and what they are using into the system that is there. Apart from that, we have some alerts as well, so that whenever somebody goes non-compliant, you get an email message or a mobile alert, so admin can get alerts. Uh, then a small case study from our one of our Danish customer. They are into agriculture and farming related item businesses. They had 200 plus finance users, plus 240 team members, 250 plus supply chain. And when we did analysis for them, we kind of moved lot of those users to smaller buckets. We increased the operational activity to 150 plus, but decreased the finance, which is a more higher license, to 70. Similarly, he reduces their commerce to 35, supply chain management to 90. And they overall they sit on saving some 76,000 plus dollars per month. So this is one of the success story, and I have many such stories with me with this tool. So people generally do not know that how much they are really spending on the licenses per month. But if they analyze with the tool, then they are really tend to save lot many amount. And so that is all I have on the presentation side. But I think if there is any questions, then I can take this. Yeah.
Deepak, yeah, we have some questions, mainly from this group, the organizer group. Deepak Agarwal asking, by chance, does it store any personal information? I think you answered this question, right?
Yes, so there is no personal information stored. We do store user ID or email ID, but if from the GDPR perspective it is important, then we can work with the GUIDs. So in those cases, what you see over here in these, you will not get those user IDs over here because that also counts as a personal information. Instead, you will have GUIDs coming over here, which you can then correlate internally and convert this to actual user IDs at the your end. So we will not have any of the client's data.
Does that mean, Deepak, it's configurable somehow? Like what information I can see here or pass here?
Yes, that is configurable.
What I heard, Deepak, telemetry data is not stored in the same uh, geo. So let's say your server, D365 server is installed in somewhere in Australia East,
Mhm,
maybe in Sydney. But some
mhm.
of the data, some metadata, some telemetry, it is in the Microsoft's docs that they say that some of these the telemetry data can be stored in US. Is it? Have you heard of that? Maybe Deepak, more relevant for Europe, right? Let's say the GDPR data, if you're taking the user IDs and all that, it's going out of your geo. No,
100% sure, no.
it doesn't
That's one
go.
of the very strict
Mm,
rule of GDPR,
Yes,
Satya.
yes.
Yeah. No, so what happens is when you set up the telemetry,
Hmm.
you have the option to choose that where you are selecting in the
Hmm.
Azure
Hmm.
workspace. So it is actually client's Azure workspace. So when you are creating that workspace, you can give that which particular geo you want that, which Azure data center you want to have that workspace, and then
Hmm.
configure Dynamics
Hmm.
against it. So it will really sit uh, into that geo. So
Hmm.
your data will never leave the geo which you want it to be. So it's all in client's hand. They can decide where the data goes.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yep. Thanks for that. Um, Deepak, second question we have is how is the tool collecting data from customer tenant? Question from
Yes.
Rajat.
So how the tool works right now is it uses the standard telemetry
Hmm.
Dynamics. So Dynamics with the standard telemetry send data to the Azure Log Analytic workspace. Then our tool connects to the Log Analytic workspace API with read access and then picks up data from there on a periodic basis.
Hmm.
That is how we get the data, telemetry data out. So we also do not directly connect to Dynamics. We only connect to the Log Analytic
Hmm.
workspace.
Just out of curiosity, any impact on the performance? Because it looks like it's a continuous monitoring what happening in the system, production system. Have you seen any performance
No,
impact? No?
no performance impact, mainly because the reason that this is the standard feature with coming with the product.
App Insight is a standard
So
case.
yes, so enabling
Hmm.
telemetry is a standard feature, and
Yeah.
it's a very lightweight call, which it does. So it does not impact any of the performances.
Yeah. And I'm assuming this product has using all the standard App Insight, or you have done any modification there as well?
Yes, so that is
There
the
is.
small IFV package which I told about because the
Okay.
standard only provide about the forms, but
Mhm.
to get the actual license data, we need the detail about the say mean items like classes, reports being called, or data entities being called. So we have developed something on top of the standard. We created an extension.
Mhm.
So now it to provide the telemetry for the other menu items as well.
Actually, that answers the next question what I ask here. Does it only read the display menu item? So you're saying that you also added the other actions, basically the reports or any actions or classes, etc., right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, very good.
Hi, Deepak. This is Saurabh here.
As far
Hi. So your product is quite interesting, and I think it's focusing on many of the people's current pain area because many industries are going through this. I just want to understand what is is it is a subscription based licensing your product or it's a one time payment?
it's a subscription based. but yearly subscription. So it's a SaaS solution which you can subscribe for a year, and then it provides you the details about your licensing for a year. So it gives you access to this dashboard which I showed you.
Okay. Mhm. So because primarily what we face is it's a one-time activity about optimizing the roles, because
Yeah.
in generally in India, you do customize the roles. Many
Yeah.
of the companies don't use a standard out-of-box Microsoft roles. When you do
Absolutely.
the customizations of role during the rollouts and implementations, you overdo a lot of things, and it's not controllable. Now, as the time passes, you are not able to manage those roles, whatever you have given an access to users. So if you want to optimize that, it can be a one time activity also, right? How do you see that industries are using it?
Yeah. So there are both sort of use cases which we have seen in our clients. Generally, people go for the subscription, and that is what we give. But if, say, somebody is really interested in only one time, then we can do a one-time report for them. We can discuss about that the cost part, etc. We can do one time and give it to them. But then you will still remain with that risk that whatever you just said, that will not stop happening in your organization. So maybe 2 months, 3 months down the line, you will again have a role, you will again have a user who is non-compliant with the licenses. So if you take one-time report, you will be good now, but a quarter down the line, 6 months down the line, you may again need this. So that is why we have keep it subscription based. But yeah, if somebody want to take one time, we are open to that as well.
Okay, fine, great. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
And just another one part of as Satya also asked. So your application is in tenant which is based in India. How does it work?
No, our application is in the European data center of the Azure. That is where it is based. So it will pull up the data and then provide a report from there.
So don't you face any issues from a compliance perspective across the territory?
Till now, not, because we have mainly from India, Middle East, and Europe for the clients. So we have not got. But if anybody has a specific concern about their data moving to some other, we are open to that. We can deploy the application into their geo as well. So if, say, for example, say some Australian company do not want their data to move out of Australia, then
Mm.
we can deploy the same SaaS solution in Australia as well and put uh, that client onto that
Oh, okay,
subscription.
you have those options. Okay.
Yeah.
Because many of the pharma companies have those compliance issues.
Yes. So compliance part, there is not an issue. And as I told that we are fully compliant with the GDPR, but if there's, say, any other country has their own say rules, we'll happy to discuss that and bend things accordingly.
Why? Deepak, great product. Thanks for this information.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Any other question? See, I think we have enough time. If ask more questions, some more details, some technical details, whatever Deepak can share, whatever is allowed to share about this product.
So, Deepak, just one more question. You did mention you are using AI to generate these reports. So, do the customers have to pay for the AI credits which are consumed to run the report, or that's part of your subscription?
Those are all part of subscription, and the customers need to only buy one subscription, and then all the engines internally uh, are taken care of by us.
Related to that, Deepak, so you said you are connecting via log analytics of FNO, right? By any chance, it does it also consume any license, or what's the sort of license or commercial part of it? It's going to connect with FNO.
So log analytics workspace remains in the client subscription only. So that is something which clients will really take care in their Azure subscription. And the connection from the Dynamics to Log Analytics, it is out of the box from Dynamics. So there is really no cost involved over there. There is maybe a small cost on the Log Analytics workspace, but what I have seen that is fairly small, like maybe $10-15 a month, if maximum. And also, we do not need really huge amount of data to be sitting over there. We can always put the setting that purge the data, say, after 30 days. So we can keep only 30 days of data because our system will anyways pulling the data almost every hour from the log analytics, the deltas. So there's no need to keep all the data into log analytics unless any organization wants themselves to uh, do some analysis on that data. That is different, but otherwise the product do not need huge amount of data to be sitting over there and increase the cost in the log analytics.
I mean, great session, Deepak. Historically, license is always a pain. I would challenge if anyone say no.
No, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. But tools like this will really make things easier, especially when people start visualizing thing that itself ease the pressure, and it's great tool. Thank you. Thanks, Deep.
One question comes to my mind, Deepak. As Microsoft keep on changing its licenses, like even to the basic depth of its duties and privileges and all.
Yeah.
Let's say today something is under activity, tomorrow it can be under and top license, finance license, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that those things happen, which we don't realize because Microsoft publish the licensing guide every month or every 2 months, right? And something
Yes.
change. So this product will take care of that, like all the changing licensing. What is in the? I think there is some hidden tables in the system, which it must be.
Yes. It does. So it
Hmm.
uh, take care with the upgrades. If you see that with every report, it also shows that what version you are in.
Mm-hmm.
It shows up the version over here. So we maintain the sort of metadata that what exactly is the version on which the client is, because
Yeah.
every version has its own metadata. And also to add on top of that, we also take care of the customizations which
Yeah.
a client has done, because generally it is not only the standard vanilla dynamics which is getting implemented.
Mm-hmm.
Customers are tend to do a lot of add their classes and their tables, their menu
Absolutely.
items,
Hmm.
which have their
So,
own license implications.
mm-hmm.
So, but we do not really we do our own calculation. The license calculation engine is still with the Microsoft. Whatever they calculate for each menu item, we just pick up that data
Yeah.
and keep it. But we take care of the versions. When the version
Right.
upgrade happens,
Right.
our product also upgrades accordingly.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Sorry, another question. Uh, Generally, when clients need this kind of tool or they need to estimate the licensing, it is generally at the time of renewal, right? When they renew for next year or 3 years. So definitely this kind of tool is required just before that when they're going to renew. But I think in future it is when this licensing strict licensing policy being s- like applied starting next year sometime.
It is
Uh,
already in
Already in
force from
place.
15. Yeah, only thing like we when your next renewal date, you have a grace time till that.
Mhm. Uh, yeah. So, what do you use case that people need it every month, like always? Like I'm thinking it is more useful before renewal. Once they renew for 1 year or three
So
years.
yeah, I got your point. I think this is
Mm.
same thing which I think Saurabh was also asking. So one time, obviously, it is required before renewal, or
Mhm.
maybe when any organization, if they are planning to go live, then before that, obviously. So that is the time when this sort of thing is required. But then, because the strict licensing policy is there, so if say you assign one extra uh, role to any of your user, and then that particular admin did not check his licenses, then the risk is that business continuity. That next day, when that person will go to the system, they will get that black screen saying that you're not compliant with the licenses. Contact your system admin. So that person will
Mhm.
then not able to really log into Dynamics. That
Mhm.
is, from my perspective, apart from the cost saving or cost risk, this is even more bigger risk because
Compliance.
maybe